Hi, good evening, everybody. My name is Greg Eiserman. I am the principal of McHenry Community High School Upper Campus. Thanks for all of you who decided to join us tonight and learn a little bit more about this exciting initiative from the state of Illinois. My job is real simple. I get 60 seconds to introduce it and then kick it to the smarter people in the room here. So we are joined here tonight by our two junior counselors, Carla Flores and Nicole Bacigalupo. And then I'm going to hand it off now to our very wise sage here, Mr. Curtis Menke, who is our college and career counselor. Here we go, Mr. Menke.
Thank you, Mr. Eiserman, sage of something. Thank you to our live viewers who are watching this, as well as to anyone who is watching the recorded version of this. We are really excited to bring you this awesome opportunity per the state of Illinois. Just as a reminder, as you can see from the ticker at the bottom of the screen, as well as the slide in front of you, one of the advantages of doing a live stream as opposed to just recordings is that our live viewers, and I can see at least 8 of you right now, can ask us questions. So again, this streams in YouTube. So there's the comment box right below the screen, whether you're on your phone, whether you're on a laptop or a home desktop. You can just type your questions right there into the comments box. We can see them and we will respond to them. We're going to try to keep this as simple as we can, especially on topics that can be more complicated. But yeah, one click, it's a great opportunity. We're going to give you some info about what it is, and then just as importantly, how to act on it. I always like to show this screen whenever I am in doing presentations, especially with students, just because it reinforces the one goal that we have for every student at McHenry High School, and that goal is to get trained or educated in something when they are done at McHenry High School, whatever that something is. Tonight's presentation is going to lean a little further into the topic in the bottom right, which is four-year colleges, again, specifically the public universities in Illinois. So just kind of giving a little bit of background information. So Illinois One Click, this is the first, I would say, full year of it. There was kind of a beta test version of it for current seniors, but it was still basically just as much work as somebody that would be filling out an application anyway. So I really consider the true launch to be with the class of 2027 across the state of Illinois. So basically, it's a great idea. The University of Wisconsin system has been doing something very similar for the last couple of years. And to their advantage, kind of is the last bullet point on the slide. They are showing increases in enrollment at those schools. That's obviously not our priority, but it is just kind of a byproduct and something that, again, the universities in Illinois are hoping for. For our students, though, most importantly, this program could potentially get them automatically admitted to up to 10 of the 12 public universities in Illinois with incredibly minimal efforts, not having to fill out a full application, not having to write essays, not having to pay any application fees. And then you get those decisions right away at the beginning of senior year. The decisions themselves will come out no later than September 15th, which is less than a month into senior year this fall. And again, it is this program, it will be based on students' 6-semester cumulative or total GPA, weighted GPA. That's a question we've already gotten a lot. So basically, our families will have until May 22nd to fill out the opt-in form, and we'll show you how to do that here in a couple of moments. And then as a school, for students who opt in, we will send these 10 participating Illinois universities, our juniors' names, 6 semesters GPA, or in other words, the GPA at the end of junior year, some basic demographic information, as well as basic contact information. We're not sending social security numbers or anything that is that private or sensitive. Basically, those 10 schools get it, and then they let you know if you're in based on that GPA requirement. To tell you a little bit more about the public universities in Illinois and why we always like to have students consider at least one or two of them, I'm going to pass things over to Ms. Bacigalupo.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Menke, and everyone, thank you for joining us. So I'm going to go over some benefits to applying to a public Illinois university, which the first benefit is that it's really financially feasible. Not only are those tuitions usually less than private universities or out-of-state public universities, but students can also qualify for something called the MAP grant. Now, the MAP grant is based on family income, and students can qualify for up to $8,400 towards their tuition. Now, this also can be renewable. I say can be renewable because, again, the eligibility is based on family income. So if a student qualifies 1 year and the family income is pretty steady over their time in college, then they'll likely qualify again. And that $8,400 times 4, I'm getting my phone to double check my math, is $33,600. That is huge. That's a gigantic savings. So really helpful for students and their families who are usually helping monitor their finances towards college. Now, this MAP grant can only be used in Illinois. There are also free tuition programs that public Illinois universities offer that I'll go into more detail about in just a minute. Also, in terms of college credit, Illinois public universities must give college credit for AP exams for scores of 3 or higher. Now, private universities, out-of-state public universities might require a 4, maybe even a 5 to get that college credit. So if your student's taken some AP classes and has scored a couple 3s, maybe hasn't gotten a 4 or 5 yet, might be a good idea to consider at least one public Illinois university to put on their list of colleges they're looking to apply to. These schools are also the most likely to accept dual credits, and they must give college credit for the CELA biliteracy, which for some schools can be up to 8 credits. So that's a lot. Overall, between all these benefits, if your student's taken a lot of AP classes, dual credit classes, not only will they save money, they could graduate potentially early, or if they're wanting to double major, double minor, they have more flexibility to do so. So applying to a Illinois public school is not only easier with this one-click initiative, it could be a lot more inexpensive. Here's some more information about those free tuition programs in Illinois. As you can see, there's different programs based on family income. Now, each school sets their own income threshold to qualify for these free tuition programs, so you can take a look. As a family, discuss if any of these might be beneficial to have on your student's list. If you could qualify for that, again, that's an awesome opportunity and something we want our students to be able to take advantage of. I'm going to hand things off to Mrs. Flores.
Thank you, Ms. Bacigalupo. So this is, I'd say, a pretty exciting time to be working with juniors in high school. The slide you can see right now shows which 10 public colleges in Illinois are participating in our one-click college admit. That light blue slide you can see on the bottom right shows University of Illinois Chicago and U of I Urbana-Champaign are the 2 public colleges in Illinois that are not participating in one-click. You see your students interested in these schools will proceed with the traditional college application in the fall for these schools. But for the 10 you can see on the left side, the number to the right, that is the weighted GPA that those schools are looking for students to be automatically accepted through one-click college admit by the end of their junior year. So you can see the GPAs range from all the schools. You will notice University of Illinois Springfield has a question mark rather than a GPA listed there. That just means Springfield is confirmed to be participating in one-click college admit. They just haven't confirmed what the exact GPA is going to be at the moment. But no worries, the information will be up to date on the one-click college admit website, and we will be up to date with that information as well once it's available. So just a quick example we can do here. Again, it's weighted GPA, or in other words, the higher GPA when your students ask which one is my weighted GPA, and it's the one at the end of junior year. So an example would be if your junior student has a 2.8 GPA. Your student ends their junior year with a 2.8. That would qualify them to be automatically accepted at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of these schools on the list. So again, this is an awesome opportunity, and we encourage your juniors to take action and be prepared for this. If we can go on to the next slide, and I also just wanted to make sure your students know that if their GPA does not meet the number that we just saw on the previous slide, that's only the minimum GPA for one-click college admit. We still want students interested in a college to apply to that college through the traditional college application in their senior year. For example, I think a question we've been starting to see is, let's say your student has a 3.7 GPA. This could be a student that is a great candidate for ISU. We don't want them to get discouraged by the 4.0 they see to the right of Illinois State University, because your junior with a 3.7 GPA is still a strong candidate for ISU, and we encourage them to apply if that's a school they're considering. So we just want to make sure students know that if they don't meet that criteria for one-click college admit, that they can definitely still apply to the school the same way they've always done in the past, college applications throughout their senior year. Now, I would like to go ahead and pass it off to Mr. Menke again so he can walk us through just kind of those action item steps to take.
Oh, of course, Ms. Flores, it would help if I turn my microphone back on. So the steps we have right here, just trying to, again, keep it as simple as we can. There's 2 steps to participating in the program. The first step is the parent guardian step, and the second step is the student step. So step 1, I just dropped the direct link in the comments a moment ago for you live viewers. For everyone who is not watching this live, Mr. Eiserman last week emailed out a parent letter that has the direct link to the opt-in form for guardians. If you're having trouble finding that, you can always contact me and I'd be more than happy to share that with you. So again, basically step 1 is you go to the one-click website and there is a guardian opt-in form that you complete. You'll enter a little bit of information about your student, as well as just a couple of basic things about you, just basically parent name and that you're giving consent. And then again, we send the information on the left side of the screen to those 10 schools. It routes through, just for transparency, it routes through an organization called the Illinois Student Assistance Commission. That's a publicly funded organization by the state whose entire purpose is to support families with reaching post-secondary access and post-secondary goals. Step 2 then is on the right side of the screen. That is the student step, which quite literally takes about 2 minutes. And that would be the student goes to the Common Application and creates an account there. For those that don't know, the Common Application is it's a universal college application. These days, most of our seniors who are applying to 4-year colleges use the Common Application because it's a tool that allows students to apply to basically to several 4-year colleges or universities at once. So odds are, if your student is going to be applying to 4-year schools this fall, they're probably going to create a Common Application account anyway. So basically, they just create it now. Use a personal email address. Just a big hint there. You always want to use a personal email address whenever your students are applying to colleges, filling out financial aid forms, scholarships, whatnot. Anything that goes beyond the walls of McHenry High School, they want to use a personal email address for. Basically, the Common Application in this particular situation is used because that is where the automatic decisions will show up. So that is literally where a student would be notified this fall that they have been accepted to whatever amount of schools will automatically admit them based on that GPA. So again, very useful tool. They've partnered with Illinois One-Click on this to make things as simple as possible. Those guaranteed admissions will show up in that Common Application account by September 15th at the latest. So that is everything that we've been told from the One-Click organization. So on the screen right now, our QR code. So if you're watching this on, on a laptop or a tablet, you want to take out your phone and click the QR codes, you're welcome to do that. I share the presentation in the comments of the YouTube there. So you can, so I did a live hyperlink, where I put in the highlights there. So you can click there. Whatever is easiest for you. We will be a little later on in the semester, we will give juniors an opportunity to create that account. And we've also pushed this information directly out to your students as well. Just as a reminder, as I go on to our final slide here, we can keep taking those questions in the comment section of YouTube from our live viewers right now. So to give our Ms. Bacigalupo and Ms. Flores, to give our live viewers a chance to collect their thoughts, ask any other questions they have. I'm in the middle of responding to one right now, but I don't have the skill of typing and talking at the same time. So to give our viewers and myself a chance to ask any remaining questions to us now that we are literally live with them. Ms. Bacigalupo, I'll start with you. I'm going to throw a question at you, and that question very simply is, what do you see as the biggest advantage or the biggest plus to students if by choosing to opt into this program?
You know what? When I look at all the GPAs that the school set as their thresholds, I see a lot that start with a 2. And I've had a lot of conversations with students whose GPAs start with 2, where they think they are not the traditional college-bound student because of those GPAs. But there's a lot of schools on that list that they could get into automatically without having to deal with the hassle of filling out an application. So I think it's going to open a lot of doors for our students who traditionally might not think they wanted to go to a 4-year college, or that they could go to a 4-year college.
I absolutely love that response. I think, some students just they don't think that, or they think that, I'm not a straight A student. How in the world can I get into college if I don't have perfect grades? And that's it's just not true. And we want to make sure that students have access and have opportunities that maybe they didn't consider. Again, the intent of this from our perspective is not to try to push everyone into 4-year college, let alone these 10 schools, but it's nice to know that you've got some automatic admissions and that doors are immediately open to you freshman year. Ms. Flores, I'm going to throw the same question at you again, just one more time for our live viewers. Again, you can ask us questions right there in the comment section of YouTube. We will give you a real-time response here tonight, this evening at 6:46 p.m. Thursday night. So, Ms. Flores, any other advantages or just any other feedback you have about this program?
Yeah, I'm also just very excited for what this upcoming fall semester for our seniors is going to look like, as far as it can be a stressful semester to balance their senior year classes and also make time for college applications and just all these, items that come or things they have to do in addition to their course load senior year. So I'm very excited that through One-Click College Admit, it won't eliminate all of the work for them to do if they're applying to other schools outside of those 10 listed. But I do think it's going to significantly support them and ease some stress, check some things off their to-do list before the year even starts. So I'm just looking forward to that, like, work-life balance I hope that they feel next year.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. I could not agree with you more, Ms. Flores. Just, for students who apply to 4-year colleges, especially, several 4-year colleges in the fall, it's basically like having another course load worth of work as far as keeping track of things, completing the applications, writing essays, reviewing things and whatnot. So yeah, just to make your time more efficient, take a little bit of the stress off too. Just, that's life is stressful enough. The process is, if we can lower that just a little bit, I think that's a win for everyone. I have not seen any other questions come in. So I believe again, please send questions our way afterwards. If you have further things, you are always welcome to reach out and contact us. We're here to support you, parents and guardians, just as much as your students through this process, and just, to help you navigate the post-secondary waters. On behalf of my colleagues, Ms. Bacigalupo and Ms. Flores, we are so grateful for you joining us, whether you're watching the live or recorded version. Take care and good luck with One-Click.